92.1 WVTK presents our local spotlight feature. Here's your host, Amanda Lee.
And welcome again to the Local Spotlight. I'm Amanda Lee, and this is where we welcome all kinds of great folks from all over Addison County and beyond and feature the neat things that they do. And speaking of all kinds of neat things, the Lawrence Memorial Library, today we're joined by Marita. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good. You have a neat program coming up called Books for Babies. Now, I'm a little confused by this. I was pretty sure babies aren't literate yet until, 4 years old, 5 years old sometimes. What is this program?
Well, the program that we are actually running will start with a reception this Saturday in the Lawrence Memorial Library. And the reception is for the children that were born last year in Bristol, and for their families, and for friends and siblings, of course. You mentioned before that, babies don't start reading until the age of 4. We have a little different philosophy. Actually, the love of books is actually nurtured as soon as a parent or a caregiver can sit down with a baby and just look at images, and then it just goes on from there.
That's true. When the picture books and the pop-up books and all this. It's all coming back to me now. Now, you said they're celebrating all the babies that are born in Bristol in the previous year. How does that work? Do parents register at the library? Do you, call the town clerk's office and say, give me the list? How does that work?
Exactly. I do call the town clerk's office, and now they actually can send the list via email. So we create a database, and then we send personal invitations to all the families. And I will talk a little bit about the invitations in a minute, but we want to really bring new families into the library. And we want to make them aware of the services, and it's very hard in the first year or even consecutive years of a young child's life to connect with the library because it's such a busy time. So we want to set aside some time, and that is coming up this Saturday for the reception, to invite parents in, and that way they become familiar with the library, and they also get to know the other families that are in the town. And then we show them all the things libraries do nowadays, which isn't just books, but connecting to the internet and to ebooks and audiobooks and all kinds of different ways of accessing literature.
It's not the library of yesteryear. There's so much, so different from, 20-ish years ago, the library I grew up with. It's so different now.
Absolutely.
Now, with the picture books that are being dedicated through Books for Babies and the big reception, does it have their name in the front, and does each baby kind of become a part of the library's collection? How does that work?
Exactly. The books are dedicated with the special nameplate and the birth of the child, and that is just the beginning. I'll go back a little bit because books, when you buy books, you need money, and this program was funded and has been funded by a really wonderful group of women. They were named themselves the Outlook Club, and they actually got together various generations of women for about 110 years in Bristol. And they had a once-a-year meeting, which they called the Progressive Tea Party. And they dedicated their time and also their resources to families in Bristol. And so the previous librarian, Priscilla McQuaid, had looked around at programming for very young children and found this model. And so what we do is we enrich our library collection by buying books that are especially focused on young children's topics. And what is really wonderful about the program is that in years after the child has been born, the families come back to the library and they say, "Oh, I remember there was this book that was dedicated to my child. Would you know by any chance?" And we are clever. We have lists, and then we look up the book for the child. And it's really sweet to see that child hold the book and the parent just, glowing, and they sit down and read it and take it home again.
Oh, that's so neat. It's kind of neat when the kids get older and they can actually read their name and go, "Look, this is my book. This is what was dedicated to me. And now I'm a part of the library."
Right.
Now, we say, big families, they can attend with the kids, the reception, right? This is open to everybody.
It is open to everybody, and it would be wonderful to get community support, because I think we want to celebrate young children. And in Bristol, it's interesting, the last 4 years, there have been between 37 and 59 children born. So it's a wonderful town for young families.
Let's fill the library, shall we?
Shall we? Yes.
Get it packed to the doors. Why not? So how did Books for Babies start exactly?
Right. The real focus is to bring young families into the library. So my predecessor started talking to possible sponsors, and this women's group, the Outlook Club, came forward. And they have been supporting it in a very generous way every year. 3 years ago, unfortunately, because a lot of mothers now are in the workforce and career women, they could not find enough women to continue this club, and it dissolved. But they were nice enough to give us funding for the last 3 years.
Oh,
unfortunately, it's coming to an end, and so one of my jobs will be to look for another funder for this program so we can continue.
Hint, hint, wink, wink, anybody out there
We are hoping.
who's looking to help out, Books for Babies. So what else is coming up at the library? And do you guys have a website we could check out for future events as well?
Absolutely. We do have a website, and it's Lawrence Library, one word, .net. And there you will be able to look at the catalog of books. We have a virtual tour of part of the library, and you can also connect to all the different websites that we have. So yeah, do check it out. I'll just put in a very brief plug for a teen group that we have. Polita Washburn is our teen librarian, and they formed a teen advisory board. And they have been really active in fundraising, and they look at it as a fundraiser. So the Mother's Day time will be a special fundraiser, and they will be selling fudge again.
Ooh, yummy. I look forward to it. Marita, thank you so much for coming on the show. We look forward to Books for Babies and everything going on at the Lawrence Memorial Library.
Wonderful. And I'm inviting everybody to come and check us out.
Great. Thank you so much. So if you want to learn a little bit more about everything that the Lawrence Memorial Library has to offer and Books for Babies, anybody who had a baby born in Bristol in 2011, there's going to be a book there for you if you want to check it out. The reception's coming up very soon, and we're going to have all the details right on our website, including a link to the Lawrence Memorial Library. Just click the link to the local spotlight at 921WVTK.com. The WVTK Weather Center forecast and the Go Green Ride at 5 are up next.
Would you like to be part of Amanda Lee's Local Spotlight? Get the scoop and learn how right now at 921WVTK.com.